Over 60? As a neurologist, I'm stunned. These 6 common vitamins could silently trigger a stroke while you sleep. Number 1 is vitamin E, the silent brain bleeder. If you're over 60 and taking vitamin E every day, thinking it's helping your heart, your memory, or your circulation, please listen closely, because this one harmless habit could quietly increase your risk of a life-changing brain bleed. No warning, no pain. Just one quiet night, and the next morning, you wake up with slurred speech, weakness on one side, or worse. Vitamin E has long been called the heart vitamin. It's an antioxidant. It fights free radicals. It protects cells. That's true, in moderation and in the right form. But here's the critical part no one tells you. In high doses, vitamin E acts as a natural blood thinner. That means it can interfere with your body's ability to form blood clots, especially when combined with medications like aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin, which many seniors already take for heart protection. Let me tell you about Mrs. Lillian Hayes, 83, a retired school teacher from Michigan. Lillian was smart, disciplined, and thoughtful about her health. She took daily walks, stayed mentally active, and took supplements she believed were helping her age well. One of them was a 400 IU vitamin I capsule she added to support her brain and circulation. But within just a few weeks, everything changed. One morning, her daughter found her on the kitchen floor, awake, but unable to speak clearly, her right arm limp. At the hospital, a brain scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside the brain. Her blood pressure was normal. She hadn't fallen, but her blood was too thin to clot properly. The combination of daily aspirin and high-dose vitamin E had silently put her at risk, and no one had warned her. She survived, but her recovery has been long and difficult. Her speech is slower now. Her balance is off, and her independence, something she valued deeply, has been compromised. This isn't rare. A 2005 study published in JAMA followed over 39,000 people and found that taking 400 IU or more of vitamin E daily was linked to a higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in the brain, not from trauma, but from fragile vessels unable to hold pressure. Here's what's shocking. The recommended daily allowance for seniors is only 22 IU. That's it, but walk into any pharmacy, and you'll find bottles of 200, 400, even 1,000 IU. No warnings, no dosage guidance, and often marketed as natural or heart healthy. If you're already taking a blood thinner, even a baby aspirin, adding high-dose vitamin E can be dangerous. So here's what you should do. Read your labels, especially if you take a multivitamin or memory supplement. Avoid vitamin E doses over 100 IU unless prescribed by your doctor. Never mix it with blood thinners without medical supervision. And remember, food is often the safer source. Almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocados all contain vitamin E, but in amounts your body knows how to handle. Let's bust a common myth. Vitamin E doesn't prevent strokes. In fact, in high doses, it may increase your chances of one, especially if you're over 60. Number 2 is niacin, vitamin B3, the vascular wildcard. You may know niacin, or vitamin B3, as a natural solution for heart health. It's found in multivitamins, cholesterol supplements, even energy drinks. Many older adults take it believing they're doing something good for their arteries. But what most don't realize is that niacin, in high doses, can silently turn into a vascular risk, especially overnight. Niacin works by causing your blood vessels to widen. That's why people often feel a flush or warmth in their face. But here's what gets left out of the bottle label. After that initial expansion, those same vessels can suddenly snap back and constrict. That rebound effect, particularly in seniors, can lead to sharp blood pressure spikes, irregular rhythms, and in some cases, a mini stroke while you sleep. Let me tell you about Mr. Carlos Rivera, 79, a retired postman from Texas. A proud father and active walker, Carlos was the kind of man who followed his doctor's advice. But one day, while shopping for vitamins, he picked up a heart-healthy supplement, boasting 1,000 milligrams of flush-free niacin. He took 2 a day, 2,000 milligrams total, far more than his body needed. Within a few weeks, Carlos started waking up with his heart pounding. His face would feel hot, and his balance was off. One morning, he slurred his words, couldn't lift his hand, then slowly returned to normal. At the ER, the doctors diagnosed a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini stroke, and a serious warning that something more dangerous could come next. They traced it back to his niacin. He had no idea it could affect his blood pressure so dramatically. What Carlos didn't know, and what most seniors don't, is that high-dose niacin, 500 milligrams or more, can cause rapid shifts in vascular tension. Your heart and brain thrive on steady flow, not sudden swings. And that's exactly what niacin can disrupt when not monitored closely. One 2014 study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, found that high-dose niacin not only failed to reduce heart attack risk in older adults, it actually increased stroke risk in a significant number of patients, especially those over 65. The safe upper limit for niacin is about 35 milligrams per day, and most seniors only need 14 to 16 milligrams. Yet, over-the-counter supplements often contain 500, 1,000, even 2,000 milligrams, doses that should only ever be used under direct medical supervision. So, what should you do? Read your supplement label carefully. Is your niacin dose above 50 milligrams? Watch for terms like flush-free or extended release. They may sound gentle but can still cause vascular stress. Talk to your doctor, especially if you take medications for blood pressure or cholesterol. And remember, whole foods like turkey, salmon, brown rice, and peanuts already provide the right amount of niacin safely and naturally. Carlos is doing better now. He's stopped the supplement and his doctor has him on a food-first approach. He told me, "I wanted to help my heart. I didn't realize I was gambling with my brain." If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 3 is vitamin A, the hidden pressure bomb. Most people think of vitamin A as the eyesight vitamin. It's in eye health formulas, anti-aging blends, and immune support supplements, all things that sound helpful as we age. But here's what many seniors aren't told. In high doses, vitamin A doesn't just sit quietly in your body. It builds up, and over time, it can create dangerous pressure inside your brain. Let me tell you about Dorothy Green, 80, a retired piano teacher from Oregon. She lived independently, taught lessons from her living room, and kept up with her reading and walking. One day, a friend gave her an eye support supplement with vitamin A. She liked the idea. Support her vision as she aged. The label said, "For healthy eyesight." What it didn't say, loudly enough, was that each capsule contained 10,000 IU of vitamin A. She took it daily for nearly a year. Then, the symptoms crept in. Frequent headaches, blurred vision, dizziness, and eventually slurred speech. Her family feared she'd had a stroke, but scans told a different story. No clot, no bleeding, but rather a buildup of pressure around her brain. The diagnosis, pseudotumor cerebri, a condition where elevated intracranial pressure mimics a brain tumor or stroke, often caused by vitamin A toxicity. Here's the science. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning your body stores excess amounts in your liver and tissues. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like B or C, you don't simply excrete the extra. And as you get older, your liver processes nutrients more slowly, which makes toxicity happen more easily. even at doses that younger adults might tolerate. The recommended daily allowance, RDA, for vitamin A in older adults is just 700 to 900 micrograms, about 2,300 to 3,000 IU. And that includes what you get from food. But supplements often contain 5,000, 8,000, or even 10,000 IU, and many seniors unknowingly double up by taking a multivitamin plus an eye or skin formula. The result? A slow buildup. And the symptoms, nausea, fatigue, blurred vision, pressure headaches, are often dismissed as aging or stress. But left unchecked, excess vitamin A can compress brain tissue, damage vision, and mimic a stroke with slurred speech, imbalance, and confusion. So what should you do? Check every supplement you take for vitamin A content, especially if it says eye, skin, or anti-aging support. Avoid going over 3,000 IU per day, unless directed by a healthcare provider. Prioritize food-based sources like carrots, spinach, sweet potatoes, and eggs. Your body handles these more gently. And if you're having symptoms like Dorothy's, don't ignore them. Ask your doctor and share your full supplement list. Dorothy is now recovering with treatment. Her pressure is managed, but she's had to cut back on teaching, and her vision isn't quite the same. I remember what she told me during a follow-up. I was trying to protect my eyes. I never imagined I could be harming my brain. Number 4 is vitamin C, the hidden trigger for vascular instability. Vitamin C. It's the supplement almost everyone takes without a second thought. It's marketed as immune-boosting, cold-fighting, and safe at any dose. But here's the truth. Most older adults aren't told. When taken in large amounts, vitamin C can quietly interfere with your blood pressure, heart rhythm, and even increase your stroke risk, especially during sleep. Yes, it's water-soluble. And yes, your body flushes out the extra, but only up to a point. In high daily doses, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams or more, vitamin C can begin to work against you. It increases iron absorption, which can lead to oxidative stress and elevated blood pressure, especially if you already take medications for the heart, kidneys, or hypertension. Let me share the story of Mrs. Jean Thornton, 77, a retired nurse from Florida. She was sharp, energetic, and liked staying ahead of illness. Each morning, she stirred 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C powder into her glass of water. Not from a prescription, but from a popular immune defense kit she bought online. At first, she felt great, but slowly, she noticed some unsettling changes: mild headaches, morning dizziness, and then, one night, she woke up confused and struggled to get out of bed. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she'd suffered a mini-stroke. Her labs revealed high iron saturation, and her blood pressure had spiked overnight. The likely trigger? That megadose of vitamin C. You see, while vitamin C does help support the immune system, taking it in extreme amounts can quietly destabilize your vascular system, especially in older adults with slower kidney function or pre-existing hypertension. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that long-term use of high-dose vitamin C was linked to blood pressure variability and cardiovascular strain in adults over 65. The recommended daily allowance for seniors? Just 75 to 90 milligrams. Even with a regular diet, most people easily meet this. But with supplements, fizzy powders, and immunity packs, it's common for people to take 500, 1,000, or even 2,000 milligrams daily, not realizing the risks. So what can you do? Check all your labels, especially those for immune boosters, powders, and multivitamins. Avoid going over 500 milligrams per day unless a doctor has advised you to. Get your vitamin C naturally from oranges, bell peppers, strawberries, broccoli, and kiwi. Real food delivers vitamin C in the safest form, with fiber and other nutrients your body recognizes and uses efficiently. Mrs. Thornton has recovered well, but she told me something I hear too often. I never thought something so simple could have caused all that. So, before you take another high-dose supplement, stop and ask yourself, is this helping or quietly hurting? Because even vitamins that seem harmless, when taken in the wrong dose, can shift your body from balance to danger overnight. If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 5 is vitamin B6, the nerve killer in disguise. You've probably seen vitamin B6 in brain health, energy, or nerve support supplements. It's marketed as something that keeps your mind sharp and your nerves healthy. But here's the warning few seniors ever hear. Too much vitamin B6 can actually damage the very nerves it promises to protect. And the worst part? It often happens slowly, so you don't even notice it until it's too late. Vitamin B6, or pyridoxine, is essential in small amounts. It helps with brain function, mood regulation, and nerve communication. But in high doses, especially over time, it becomes toxic to your nervous system. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter King, 82, a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came into my office complaining of tingling in his hands, numbness in his feet, and trouble keeping his balance. He'd already fallen twice in the past month. At first, he thought it was aging, maybe arthritis. But something didn't add up. I asked him about his supplements. He proudly showed me a nerve support formula he'd been taking for over a year, one that claimed to fuel your brain and protect your memory. Inside, 100 milligrams of vitamin B, 6 per tablet, and he was taking 2 per day. That's 200 milligrams daily, 20 times higher than his body needed. Here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin B6 builds up in your tissues over time. It doesn't just flush out like people assume. And in older adults who often have slower liver function and less efficient detox systems, that buildup can reach toxic levels even faster. The result? Peripheral neuropathy, nerve damage that causes burning, numbness, weakness, and balance problems. And because it comes on gradually, many seniors confuse it with diabetes, arthritis, or even early dementia. None, but it's not aging. It's B6 toxicity. Multiple studies, including one published in Neurology, have confirmed that chronic B6 intake above 50 milligrams per day is associated with sensory nerve damage, and that these effects can be permanent if not caught early. Here's the kicker. The recommended daily intake for older adults is just 1.5 to 2 milligrams. That's it. And yet, many brain boosters, nerve formulas, and energy pills contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per dose, with no warning about long-term use. So what should you do? Read every supplement label that mentions brain, nerve, or memory. Avoid taking more than 10 milligrams of B6 daily, unless your doctor tells you otherwise. Be especially cautious if you've been using B-complex or energy supplements for several months or years. And if you're feeling tingling, weakness, or off balance, bring it up at your next checkup and mention your supplement routine. Mr. King stopped his supplement right away. Thankfully, his damage wasn't permanent, but he still uses a cane. He told me, "I thought I was helping my nerves. I didn't realize I was burning them out." So, if you're taking vitamin B6, especially in high doses or as part of a support formula, check the dose, check the label, and check with your doctor. Number 6 is vitamin D, the calcium time bomb. You've probably been told that vitamin D is essential as you age. It's good for your bones, your mood, your immune system. And yes, all of that is true. But here's what almost no one tells you. In high doses, especially taken at the wrong time, vitamin D can quietly raise your risk of stroke while you sleep. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. That's part of its job. But when you take too much, or take it at night when your body is slowing down, that calcium can build up in your bloodstream. And when your body doesn't know what to do with it, it sends that calcium into your arteries, making them stiff, narrow, and more prone to clotting. Add in age-related dehydration, blood pressure swings, and nighttime inactivity, and you have what I call the calcium time bomb. Let me tell you about Mr. Samuel Boyd, 76, a retired Navy mechanic from North Carolina. He was healthy, sharp, and serious about staying strong. Every evening before bed, he lined up his vitamins, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he'd been taking for over a year. He wasn't deficient. He just thought more was better. One morning, his wife found him confused and slurring his words. His right arm hung limp. At the hospital, doctors confirmed a stroke. No warning signs the night before. His calcium levels were high. His arteries were stiff. The cause? Vitamin D toxicity. Most people don't realize that vitamin D is fat-soluble. That means it stores in your body over time. And when combined with calcium supplements, heart medications, or age-related metabolic changes, it can quietly push you into a danger zone without you ever feeling it coming. The recommended daily intake for older adults is around 600 to 800 IU, but many over-the-counter pills come in 2,000, 5,000, even 10,000 IU and are taken daily, sometimes for years. And studies show that even 2,000 IU a day may be too much if you're not deficient. A 2012 study in the American Journal of Medicine found that older adults with high blood levels of vitamin D had a significantly increased risk of vascular calcification and stroke, especially those taking supplements unsupervised. So what should you do? Take vitamin D only if your doctor has tested your levels and confirmed a deficiency. Avoid megadoses over 1,000 IU per day, unless prescribed. Always take it in the morning, not at night, to reduce the risk of nighttime calcium spikes. Be cautious if you're also taking calcium or blood pressure meds. Mr. Boyd is in recovery now, doing speech therapy and rehab. He told me something that stuck with me. I thought I was protecting my bones. I never imagined I was putting my brain in danger. So if you're taking vitamin D, or thinking about it, don't assume more is better. Know your levels, know your dose, and never take it blindly. Because the vitamin you take to stay strong should never be the reason you wake up unable to move.